Howdy guys, I'm back with more Path of Exile, the Fall of Oriath. Last time I finished up a bunch of side quests here on the western part of Act 7, and I explored the Temple of Decay. I never found that waypoint, by the way. And I don't even think there is one because you don't see the little blue highlight thingy on it. So anyway, I've decided I would start this video right here in front of Arakaali's web where I left you guys last time. So I believe this will be the ending of Act 7. So let's go find out what's going on with poor Silk. There he is. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to lose another friend, but I already know from that cringy love letter he's already gone, so let's go face the music. Rip Silk.
My bride has arrived, Exile. I hope you brought a wedding gift.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm wondering how you guys are gonna consummate your your marriage with like, she's a big spider. I'm just curious, how is this gonna work exactly? I mean, you know, a lot of places your marriage isn't valid until it's consummated, and I'm down to 8 frames a second. My computer really hates the end of Act 7. Not sure really what's going on with that. I've got all my settings turned down pretty low. I've tried restarting, and I've got a little FPS counter here in the corner. You guys won't be able to see it, but it says I've got 9 frames, and I think I'm gonna die because I'm lagging off the edge here. Alright, well this is... Thankfully Cyclone's easy to play, and I don't think I need to see what's happening in order to live. I think as long that these... Alright, there we go. The exit to Act 8 is now open. Achievement complete, and I did it with 13 frames. Alright, so... Silk is... where? I was lagging too much. I don't know if Silk jumped off or what happened to Silk. I really didn't see what happened to him. Anyway, I guess let's look at how pixelated and sad this is because of my friend. There we go. All right, let's talk to Sin.
Many an artist of Esmerian descent has engaged in the sad worship of that sultry arachnid. But you looked in those hypnotic eyes and then ripped them out. She lies in her bed of sordid memory, alone. A little of the spider yet creeps and crawls in my palm. A touch more power for my subduer of gods?
Should I trust you? You keep giving me all this power. I don't know if this is a good thing. Alright, so I've been using Brine Kings, which you can't be stunned or some crap like that. Alright, Soul of Arakaali. 5% reduced damage taken from dots. Damage over time. 10% chance to avoid lightning. Lightning, of all things. That's kind of a weird one. Recovery of energy shield. Don't know about the rest of it. I'll go ahead and just take this for now because I feel like that's a little bit better. I'm excited to see what the next two are. I guess one for Act 8, one for Act 9, or maybe Act 10? I don't know. Alright, so just like that, we're done. I'm not entirely sure what happened to Silk. I don't see his body anywhere, and like he was right here, so I don't know if he's... Ooh, the Sarn ramparts. I'll return to the Act 7 town as soon as I get the next waypoint, so that I can talk to everybody, meet Sin at the Sarn Encampment. Sure enough, this is, Act 8 is going to be rehashed Act 3 to some extent. Alright, so let me go ahead... Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, let me go ahead and go back to Act 7, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time collecting some dialogue here. Yina is now back to being... Okay, I guess I spent way too much time being traumatized over her lighting herself on fire last time. No one really to talk to, though. I figured everyone would be like, what the heck, Silk? I get Sin's the only one with the little exclamation mark.
Many an artist of Asmerian descent has
And he
engaged
says
in the
the
sad
exact
worship
same
of that sultry
thing
arachnid.
that I already
But
yeah, you already
looked
told
in
me
those
this.
hypno-
Sorry, dude. Alright, well, let me try. Nope, nothing from you, which should make sense. You didn't care about, you didn't even know Silk.
Greetings.
Alright, now you knew Silk. What happened? Where the hell is... He's
There you
definitely
were.
not in town, so he's a goner,
Oh,
but...
hankering for education. Oh, poor Silk. Like so many before him, Silk succumbed to a most insidious disease. Ambition. That craving for greatness. An irresistible compulsion to leave one's mark on the world. There's another name for marks like that. Scars.
Wow. That was pretty deep, and he's right. I was hoping to get some clarification on what happened to Silk. I don't know if, Nessa, from Act 6, she was like one with the Brine King, so that was kind of obvious, but Silk was standing a bit away from Arakaali, so I really don't understand. Like, I think I might have to go rewatch that fight because I was so busy having 3 frames. I really didn't notice if he jumped off or did something at the end there. I don't know. Alright, tell me about that Val City I ran through.
While they were highly advanced in their technology, the Val were rather brutish in their social practices. I find it rather baffling to think of the Val as a people who believed in science and progress, and yet constructed elaborate sacrificial altars in the centers of their cities. Judging by the construction of this particular ruin, I would say that the city rose to prominence during the reign of Queen Tetzlapokal, who some scholars refer to as a waif of disturbing proclivities. She was a devotee of Arakaali, and according to the literature had a deep fascination with mortality and the inert human form. The histories tell how the queen would request her subjects to deposit the bodies of their deceased loved ones upon the steps of her palace. The corpses would be promptly taken inside to be used for... Unfortunately, most scholars fell into hysterical conjecture at that point. At least I hope it was conjecture.
Jeez, so anything Vol seems to have some crazy history attached to it, and the name of that queen definitely kind of sounded a little, gosh, like, I can't think, like, I guess like that South American, is it I feel like such an uneducated hick, but I did mention that the Vol City kind of reminded me of Machu Picchu, and the name of that queen seems to kind of fit with that theme. I could just be talking out of my ass here, I don't know.
About you.
Alright, you turned into a flaming fox and incinerated yourself, yet you're still standing here half naked. Explain yourself. Okay, Silk.
I miss my friend. Silk knew the spirit as I did. We would talk, understand it, together. Now there is no one but me.
Poor... I like it. That's all Silk gets is a little mention right there. Fireflies, why is this still here?
You have found the resting place of this Arakaali? Good. The spirit tells me that we will not reach her.
Oh.
Not without help. Web she weaves with fibers of faith and fear. Too strong to break, too strong to cut. Yet there is an Asmeri potion, most ancient, fire dew. It might be enough to burn the path, make way for us to pass into heart of spiderweb. I could brew it for you, but there is one ingredient I do not possess. The blazing blood of the firefly that lives in the most dreaded of thickets. Travel I shall to Arakaali, to sit on her doorstep, until you bring me 7 flames that flit and fly. Then I make you a fire dew, and together we go talk to this bride of foolish silk.
Okay, so I think I was supposed to grab that like way before, because I remember just walking into the fireflies and be like, okay, fireflies, whatever. And I don't know if I missed that or just didn't remember it, or if just some of the dialogue is just very strangely placed. I really don't know what happened with that, but I know I feel like I've been there, done that. Sorry, Yena.
Hello. Keep your
Nothing
life
from
to your own.
Helena. Okay, so I guess no one gave a crap about Silk. No one really had a whole lot to say. Not really any clarification on what specifically happened to him. You know, I've been singing praises about the where the story's gone and Path of Exile, and then for everyone, like, no one seems to have really cared that Groost and Silk died. Like, I mean, I don't know, I guess how much of a big deal can you make of it? I mean, they just seem to make a little bit bigger deal out of it when Groost died, but Silk there, I mean, that was the very end. When Silk there died, it's like, oh, yep, he's gone. If people even mentioned him, I mean, most people didn't even seem like they cared to mention him, which, I mean, like, I liked these. These were characters that you talked to, that you got quests from, that you did things for. It just seems like it makes sense to have a little moment of mourning from them, or, you know, a little, I don't know, it just, all of that just seemed really, I don't know, kind of strange and a little bit out of place for me. I just, okay, the sculpture's this way. I don't know, I was kind of expecting everyone to be a little bit more upset, I guess. And I'm doing this 10 frames a second thing again, guys. I'm really not sure what's going on with all of this. I do apologize. I really don't know what else to do at this point. It seems to kind of sort itself out after a few seconds. I don't know if maybe there was a patch that changed stuff.
Life is wasted.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a patch that changed stuff, because I literally haven't had this problem. I mean, you see, I can turn, I can't even turn shadows off. Like, I've got everything pretty low. I'm not really sure if there's anything else I should change, honestly. Maybe making it true full screen would cut down on the FPS instead of this windowed full screen. In fact, that's really the only thing I can think of, but then I'd have to close down my game, I think. I don't know. This 9 frames isn't clearing itself up. I'm gonna probably have to fix the... Oh, there it goes. Seems like sometimes zooming in seems to help sort it out. But yeah, see, I only seem to have these frame rate losses when I run past and don't kill things. As long as I kill things, it seems to be fine. Now, why this is happening now and it didn't before in the earlier acts, I really don't know. I don't know if... maybe it's the areas are bigger, maybe there's more effects on what the monsters are doing, maybe PoE sucks, I mean, I don't know, but I don't really have, like I said, I don't really have this many trouble, yep, that's English. I don't have this much trouble with any other games, honestly, and I can run a lot of games on Ultra and all that stuff just fine, so... Oh, nice. Let's grab this real quick, and hopefully something good will come out. Hopefully I don't die to the... Wow, it was all so bad. Wow, so bad that it doesn't even show up from my loot filter. What a shame. So I guess I should... Oh, hey, another yellow scam box here. So I guess I should start making predictions on who from Act 3 and 4 is going to die or be swayed by a god. For Act 4, or Act 9, I have a thought. I'm thinking, like, we're gonna end up back to Diala for some reason, because she's all old and messed up, and I don't know, maybe she's gonna... I don't know, I feel like she's too smart and clever to get swayed by some god, but she might also miss her power and everything, so I don't really know. Now, as far as Act 8, I'm not really sure who's going to be in trouble. from a dramatic point of view, it seems like it would make sense for Clarissa to be the one that gets into trouble, but we also have Grigor, who is half man, half monster, so one way to find out is by walking into the Sarn Encampment, though. Am I really in Act 8, or am I in Act 3? Okay, this looks different. This is definitely Act 8, and let me take a quick gander at some of the stuff I've picked up, see if I got any upgrades. Nope. Nope. And please. What's with these rustic sashes having energy shield on them? Alright, so what's different here? The lighting looks a bit different. We've got Sin here, Varici, Maramoa still here, Hargan still here, Clarissa's still here with a man in, what do you call these, like a stockade or something? He looks like he's been through something. He's kind of red and fleshy and look who's not here. Grigor isn't at Grigor's wall. This little decoration is actually called Grigor's wall too, I believe. So Grigor's not here. I find that interesting. And we've still got the plaza here. I guess this just isn't open for people on solo self-found, and looks like the bridge here's been collapsed, so I can't go that way. Looks like the only way out is through here. Alright, so I've done my first early assessment of the area, if anyone ever cared. Let me toss some stuff in here right quick. I know my inventory's like a disaster area. And let's find out what's going on in Act 8. Let's start with Sin.
Doedre Darktongue is the insidious infection that threatens to make septic the great and terrible wound that is Sarn. However, any certainty that I had as to her exact whereabouts has been sundered by the sheer stench of her presence. We shall have to deduce her location from those who know the area best. These locals that cling to Sarn like hungry maggots.
Alright, so I think we know what Sin's thoughts on the people. Yeah, really, they're all, like, at least the people... No, okay, never mind. I was going to say, at least the peoples in Act 6 and 7 moved, and I was like, wait, no, they didn't. Like, people in Lion's Eye are still in the same spot. The only people that had any damn sense were the people in Act 7. Alright, what do you have to say about Doedre?
Doedre Darktongue is the insidious infection that threatens to make septic the great and terrible wound that is Sarn. However, any certainty that I had as to her exact whereabouts...
Okay, so he just says the same thing. Alright, so Maramoa, hi, I'm back, how are you?
Good to see you in Sarn once again. I wish that we could be greeting under fairer skies, yet this city remains clouded in strife.
Then leave!
Lunaris, eternal goddess of the moon, and her sister Solaris of the sun, have risen to reclaim what was once their own. Siblings equal in strength, mighty twin rivers converging, sweeping all before them. We are cornered animals, awaiting the deluge that will surely drown us. Yet, there exists a pair of ancient treasures, the sun orb and the moon orb. They are our hope, our desperation.
Why? What exactly do these orbs do? You just came up and told me, oh man, these orbs, they're gonna do great things. Oh, what exactly do they do? Explain to me how they work. You want me to go out there and risk my life just because, some orbs will help us? Okay, how about we get on my ship and I haul your asses to somewhere safe? Then I save myself a lot of trouble, and now if that would make sense, never mind. Alright, where's Grigor?
Grigor is the butterfly that has lost its wings to a cruel child, and this place of respite has become a cage for his pain, a breeding ground of bad memory. We spoke, and Grigor shared his resolve with me. He can no longer live with the torment that piety has injected into his heart. Like the warrior poet he is, Grigor has ventured into the unknown to find a cure for his body and mind, or die in the attempt.
Okay, so I think I'm onto something. We're gonna end up finding Grigor What is he going to be doing? He's probably going to be promised a cure from one of these gods or something, and they're going to be like, "Blah, ha ha ha, I was just kidding, now you're my slave, woo-hoo-hoo," and you're going to have to slaughter stronger monster Grigor. That's my prediction. Alright, Clarissa and Tolman. Alright, let's talk about that, I guess.
The dead do not love the living, and the living cannot love the dead. People fear what they do not understand. I understand Clarissa. I am not frightened of her. I am frightened for her.
Okay, what? Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm not, what? Let me go over here. What? Is that Tolman? Is that Okay, before I finish talking to Maramoa, I need this clarified, like, ASAP. What the hell?
Sarn is changing, and so are we who live here. There, Tolman. Don't you worry. I love you. I'll think of something.
Oh, come on. What? This is really... this is how, like, every bad zombie movie starts, I'm pretty sure. Or it's an element in, like, every zombie movie where you got, like, the woman that still loves her zombie husband and keeps his zombie head in a basket or keeps it on a chain. I'm not digging this, Clarissa. What the hell, Clarissa? What is this Tolman? Alright, you're going to have to be honest with me.
You told me Tolman was gone. You were wrong. I found him. No, Tolman, I never gave up on you. His soul remains, flickering deep down inside. Oh, Tolman, I know you're in pain, but it'll be over soon, I promise.
Oh, screw this. This is some screwed up business. Oh my gosh, this game. Okay, Grigor.
My heart aches for Grigor. I know the battle in which he is engaged. It's like my own, a fight to make sense of life in a land that deems life to be worthless. I don't know where he's gone, but I do know he's looking to find himself, his true self, as we all must do in our own time.
Oh man, I can't... So, okay, this thing right here, that's Tolman then. Why is he locked up like that? I guess I'm supposed to infer what's going on there. Alright, I'm gonna finish talking to her and Maramoa. Maybe you've got some sense, because these broads be crazy.
Good to see you're still soldiering on. With all these gods and past horrors wandering around Sarn, I don't assume anyone's alive and kicking these days.
Exactly.
If Sarn wasn't mad enough, now we've got some whip-tongued hag cooking up a stinking curse in the sewers. Took it from her mother-in-law at first. But no, based on my meagre historical knowledge, I reckon we have a certain Doedre dark tongue to contend with. Where in blazes is she hiding? I've no idea. So, the only way we're going to catch this witch is by getting our hands, and possibly a lot more, well and truly dirty. And by we, I mean you, of course.
Of course.
The sewers are no place for a simple businessman like me. Do us a favour. Head into them sewers and track that old hag down. Get her to reveal herself, and put her down. Ha! Better your eyes than mine, eh?
I don't know about that. Alright, alright, he's got stuff I want to know about. What is going on with those two, Clarissa and Tolman?
Quite the pretty pair, aren't they? Yeah, it's pretty bloody disturbing. That girl was once the sweetest lass I could name. Nowadays she's barking as batshite over that living corpse of hers. All it would take is a quick hard bash with a rock, and Tolman would no longer be a problem. Tempting, don't you think?
It's gonna have to be done. Like, you gotta... I understand it being hard to let someone you love go, but this isn't the person you love anymore. You've got him in stocks, that's not or whatever. You've got him locked up, that's not Tolman anymore. Whatever it is, it's not Tolman. You don't understand, Clarissa. Alright, Solaris and Lunaris.
Needing my eclectic expertise again, are we?
You know it.
Solaris and Lunaris got front and centre stage among them folks at the Eternal Empire. Solaris was thought to be the light of leadership, guiding and enlightening each emperor that sat the throne. In practice, most of them emperors turned out to be a bit dim. But then history and theology have never quite seen eye to eye. As for Lunaris, a goddess of the moon and earth, the mother of dreams and inspiration. Doesn't sound like a bad lady until you consider that dreams harbour nightmares and that inspiration is just one notion shy of insanity.
Gosh, he makes a good point. I mean, it's depressing, but he's not wrong. I really think he's the only sensible person left here in Sarn, sad as it is. Alright, what happened with Grigor?
Grigor left without a single word to me, rude bugger.
Rude bugger?
But I suspect his poetic soul has been drawn back home to Izmir. A long journey, but a trip worth taking to find solace among one's own people. Of course, they'll get quite the shock when they see him. Let's hope familial love is as nearsighted as they say. There are the fine tales Grigor will be able to tell them, of course. Come to think of it, now that Dominus has been knocked off his perch, there's nothing to stop the Izamites from learning a thing or two from Grigor's story. They might even consider invading this jewel and Rayclast's tarnished crown. I certainly hope they have just such an eye for opportunity. A man could make a tidy sum helping said invaders navigate Sarn and its many hazards.
Is that foreshadowing, I wonder? Yeah, look, I just had my frame rate loss even though I'm just sitting here hanging out talking to people. Like I said, this is a new problem for me. This is so pixelated. How obnoxious. I'm just sitting here talking, didn't even do anything. Didn't do nothing. Alright, Maramoa. I don't think this will hurt the dialogue any. This 12 frames, maybe it'll sort itself out here. Alright, Gimling Legionnaires.
They walked our earth in the times of great strife, cruel and hideous shadows, cast against the clay wall of ruined abode. Thaumaturge Malachi grew them out of the vain ambitions of his dark imaginings. Emperor Cheetus believed that the Legionnaires belonged to him, that all Gemling men would beat to the drum of his own crystalline heart. But as the silhouette of the Emperor faltered and fell, burned out by the light of true men, some of the Legion remained. The Catechism turned Legionnaire into monster, another mindless man of undeath. Yet this captain seems to have regained his faculties, some of his old warrior intelligence. I worry for the rest of his soldiers, how they may grow from mindless killing machines into something far worse.
Didn't know it could get much worse than mindless killing machines, but I've been wrong before. Alright, so no more dial. Oh, okay. Sin has a couple of new things now. The Eternal Sun.
If we are to see the dawn of a new era for humankind, the sun must be taught to behave herself. Upon that mighty span between Sarn's left hand and its right, Solaris burns to consume every single moment of existence. Sparing no thought for life and its needs, she would see the world parched barren before she yields to reason. The sun must be allowed to set, so that it may rise again as a blessing, not a curse.
Okay, so it seems like our sun and moon are out of balance. I'm going to skip well, no, I'll go ahead and listen to Solaris.
A mother's keen heart shall bleed into the dreams of her daughter. Once a beauty who held captive the hearts of men and women alike, Shikari's splendor decayed into lust, for the power possessed by her sky-born mother. My daughter once sought out such power within the great sands of this desert. Ever determined, she found it, and it made of her the twisted creature you so mercifully dispatched. Driven by agony and shame, she built an army out here in these sweltering lands, and would have conquered the very sky had not the beast soothed her into peaceful oblivion. A babe once more, sleeping in her cradle.
That's not what the text said in the very least. Like, Okay. Like, when I click on
A
Solaris,
mother's keen heart shall
self-loving
bleed into the
Solaris.
dreams
Yeah,
of her
I don't really
daughter.
want to talk over
a
Sin,
beauty.
though, but that definitely doesn't... The text there doesn't match up. That is absolutely for certain. My gosh, this is getting worse as I progress through the acts. Like, can we have a fix now? Oriath has been out for a month. Alright, the Eternal Moon. Hopefully this is not crazy.
In the Marraketh Desert, an oasis lies to the east. Its waters shielded from prying eyes by a preternatural storm. The sand will rip the very flesh from your bones, should you be so foolish as to enter into its dark shroud. Yet enter you must. The goddess Shakari hides within that golden blizzard, festering with revenge as she resurrects and rebuilds her ancient army. An army that once threatened to shake the very balance of these lands. Should she be allowed to revitalize her troops, the whole of Marraketh will finally fall under the cruelty of her selfish reign. The storm is impenetrable for now, even to the likes of me, but there must be a way in. These Highgate locals, they have an affinity for the desert and harsh weather. One of them may know of a way to disperse the storm.
See, okay, okay, so he's talking about Highgate, so this is dialogue for Act 9, spoilery Christ. And then, like, it goes away as soon as he's done talking, so I can't even, like, wait the dialogue out and just read it myself, because as soon as he's done talking, it just, bloop, disappears. Alright, Lunaris?
It is not something I deign
Okay,
to speak
alright,
of.
none of these are correct. I don't know, is there... Can I turn the dialogue off completely, or let's see, can I read this? Alright, I'm gonna read this myself. Sorry, guys. Alright. Self-loving Solaris, all the light in the world, yet blinded by her own pride. Not once did she pause to question the truth of her sister's betrayal. Instead, she gloated over her sister's transgressions, proclaiming herself greater and more honorable than Lunaris could ever be. I suppose one shouldn't be surprised when a sun deity takes the higher ground. Oh, now see, that's pretty clever. I kind of liked that. Alright, the Eternal Moon. We approach the zenith of our divine hunt upon the bridge that chokes the great wet throat of Sarn. Lunaris, in her cold fury, has forgotten that the warming sun of morning is as life-giving as the cooling damp of the evening. The empire Lunaris dreams of shall be lit by moon and twinkling stars, and life itself shall wither away in that perpetual night. And Lunaris, one of two sisters who ruled the most populous and powerful of the ancient Asmerian tribes, Solaris was thought to guide the sun across the sky with threads of shimmering gold, while Lunaris saw to the wax and wane of moon with the sickle of purest silver. It was a peaceful partnership until the trickster Tangmazu happened upon their domain. In turning sister against sister, he saw the massacre of thousands, whilst concealing the source of their futile feud beyond all reckoning. Feel no pity for the moon. She is a cold and distant fool, far less radiant than she would something. Far less radiant than what? Than she would suppose. Alright, so basically, we've got two sisters that, you know, this sounds pretty kind of typical of sun-moon stuff, you know. You need just enough sun, not too much. You need just enough moon, not too much. One of every extreme is always bad, right? Alright, Clarissa and Tolman, she's got a couple of things here that I don't really... given the way the dialogue's been, I'm not sure if I should listen to it. It's gonna be out of place, but it's there. I want to listen to it. Emperor Veruso.
By all accounts, Tarkus Veruso was a ruthless despot, a man to rival even the likes of Dominus. Yet his heart of stone contained one precious theme, his love for his wife, Chiara. So when the poor young woman died giving birth to Veruso's son, Caspero, the grieving emperor threw aside his great convictions and placed his last hope in thaumaturgy, in the Ankh of eternity. Perhaps it was shame that drove Tarkus to lock the Ankh away, to steal such hopes from his descendants. It was he who had asked his people to turn their backs on the ancient arts. So what right had he to enjoy that which he forbade? Love gave him that right.
Ah, typical. How typical. You can't have that until I need it. Now I need it. Politicians. Alright, the Ankh of Eternity.
As I understand it, the Ankh of Eternity was somehow able to return the dead to the full bloom of life. There was nothing necromantic about it. Rather, it was a source of true resurrection. How it came to exist, I honestly don't know. A couple of inscriptions I read treated the Ankh as some sort of gift to Veruso from the Val. But surely the Val were long gone by Veruso's time, weren't they? No matter. Despite the vagaries of the Ankh's origins, Veruso used the Ankh to return his young wife from the deathbed to the wedding bed. The accounts are unanimous on that point. As it was for Veruso's love, so shall it be for mine.
So she probably wants me to get this Ankh to fix Tolman's problem, but listen, Tolman is in a different state altogether. He's somewhere between living and dead. I don't think he's quite dead. I don't really know what he is, to be honest. Into the Toxic Conduits, I guess. But, yeah, Tolman's pretty screwed up. Whatever Ankh thing you need, I can pretty much assume it's not gonna work. So not really looking forward to having to wander aimlessly through the sewers once again. Hopefully it's not as much of a mess as it was pre-Oriath. The sewers in Oriath were just peachy, so hopefully this will be fine. You know, skinny little areas to go through make it great for Cyclone anyway. So I'm kind of thinking, man, this dialogue, it's like everything in Act, like you can definitely tell they were on a time crunch, right? Like everything in Act 6, no problem. You know, a few problems, well, okay, hold on, let me go back. Act 5, no real problem. Act 6, the cracks begin to show, and here by Act 8, we just straight up have tons of dialogue problems, to the point that, like you guys were saying, we're getting dialogue that has no earthly, like I'm getting Act 9 dialogue at the beginning of Act 8, and was a little spoilery, and I'm doing this frame thing again. My gosh, I'm really stumped, guys, as far as what could be causing this. I know I've been saying that all video long, and I mean, I showed you guys my settings. I really don't know what to do to fix it at this point, besides get new hardware. I've got all my stuff really low. I guess, like I said, I can probably switch from windowed full screen to full screen. That might solve my problems, which it'd still be kind of annoying because that means I can't use my second monitor anymore, because I think doing that causes my other monitor to go black. But you know, I think that's just going to have to be something I have to live with. If I need to look something up, I'm just going to have to use my phone or something, because this... Yeah, see, and then the frames go back to normal after a few seconds. This is like the goofiest thing. It goes from 7 frames for no reason back to 30. I'm baffled. I don't know. But I'm really hoping... Okay, so they're supposed to be having a new expansion out in December, guys. December. So it's like in 3 months from now. I really do hope that before this next expansion, or at least for the expansion, they really need to clean up Oriath's dialogue problems. Like friggin' hell, I'd be willing to, like, even I can do that. Like, come on, just I'll either transcribe it, or like, come on, man. I mean, this is an easy enough fix. I can transcribe what they actually say into the text of the game. I'm sure I could figure that out. So come on, guys, that's easy. I know it's probably not the most important thing to fix, because it's like no one listens to this crap anyway, but I personally like it. So really do hope they clean up the dialogue before the next expansion, because I'll probably have to do I don't know if I'll ever do another dialogue playthrough. I mean, it depends on what kind of expansions they release in the future, how much it changes up the game. But, you know, I really like the story of Oriath and where it's going, so I'm a little disappointed that the dialogue's been getting really sloppy here toward the end. And, you know, it's something I notice about a lot of games. They're smooth as butter the first, like, fourth, third half. And I mean, even older games, I mean, I remember even SNES era, Sega Genesis era games would be great until the end, and then you started getting all these weird translation issues or graphical glitches, and it's like, you can really tell that GGG was on a time crunch here with Fall of Oriath, because Act 5, Act 6, pretty good, and then, gosh, Act 8's just like a disaster. Act 7, no one cares about, oh nice, Act 7, no one cares about Silk or Groost, even though they're dead, I guess. I gotta say, I'm starting to feel a little disappointed now. I've just now started to feel a little bit disappointed because it's like, not Silk, Sin was blatantly saying stuff from Act 9. It's like, okay guys, come on. This just feels really lazy. Someone just completely inserted the wrong audio file and didn't change it for over a month. I mean, today, like, as of this recording, I don't even know what date it is. It's September 5th when I'm recording, or no, 6th when I'm, no, it is the 5th, never mind. I can't read my darn date from here. Alright, so here's Doedre's cesspool. So, about exactly a month since Oriath has come out. And like I said, I know dialogue isn't the most important part of an ARPG. I understand that, I agree with it. You know, I'd rather gameplay bugs and stuff be addressed before some silly dialogue, but that's just straight up not even the right dialogue. Sin just spouted out some stuff from Act 9. I just entered Act 8. None of that stuff means anything to me right now, and it's like...
A fool tries to turn lead to gold, but a deft hand takes it by force.
It's like, I honestly think that, you know, like, I don't know if there's like a report feature that I need to, like, I'm sure that they're aware that they have to be aware that their dialogue is screwed up. Like, I feel like a month in, I don't need to be the person, I mean, with all the beta testers and being a month in, I really don't feel like I'm the first person. In fact, I know one of you guys were telling me that the dialogue was screwed up, so I know I'm not the only person nor the first person to notice that. So, I do think it's pretty sloppy. Oh my gosh, what's with all these masters? I think it's very sloppy to leave it in there this late in the game. Like, they're better off just having it be silent. They really just need to remove the audio file from that if there is no audio file for what Sin says here at the beginning of Act 8, and I'll just read it. Like, I know how to read. I mean, I know sometimes, depending on my, you know, based on my pronunciation, I know some of you people may not believe that I can read, but more or less I have a basic understanding of how letters form words, and I'm perfectly fine with sitting here reading something instead of it being read to me, if that means I'm not going to have my game spoilered or have something just blatantly wrong there, honestly. I mean, you know, I grew up playing video games that weren't voice acted, right? So it's like I learned how to read because I had to read in video games to understand what was going on. Like, honestly, like, everything being voice acted isn't a big deal to me, but, you know, it is a big deal when it's completely wrong dialogue that doesn't even belong there. It's like, come on, guys. GGG, I love you. You're better than this. You really... Oh, sweet! A 5. It's not linked, but I don't know. I don't have the orbs of fusings to make that gamble, but... hopefully I find a 5 linked... Hopefully I find a 5 linked weapon. I'm gonna have to get Varici. You notice that Varici's hanging out in the Sarn Encampment. Yeah, I don't have him in my hideout, so it's gonna take me a really long time to get some 5 linked stuff, unless I'm just pretty lucky and get one that drops. Alright, like I said, making my way around this way to grab some DPS stuff. Not picking anything weapon specific just yet because, you know, I'm playing SSF for now. My weapons can be whatever. I planned on leaving SSF at some point, but I'm probably just going to, I'm thinking at this point I'm just going to stick with it on this character, just because I've been doing it for so long and it's been such a crazy couple of months for me that I haven't been able to play as much as I would like. So I think I'm going to stick with the SSF for now, and I'm not really sure what I'll do in for my next for the next expansion, the next character I record. I don't know if I'm going to do SSF or actually play. Uh-oh, we're down to 5 frames again for no real reason. Oh boy. I'm going to play a character that has no animations so that my computer can handle it. That's what I'm going to play. Okay, where the hell do I need to go? I've been all over this place and this is a dead end. Oh, okay, look at that sneaky exit right there. And oh, we are restarting the realm to deploy an update. Okay, downtime will be up and will be 15 minutes, so I guess I've got a little bit longer to play. Maybe that has something to do with my frame rate loss or something. Maybe it's not me. I don't know, I kind of feel like it is me, but whatever. Boy. But, well, hopefully, I'm hoping maybe this patch, I don't think it is. I'll have to read what that patch is about, but I would hope that this patch can fix my graphic problems here. Alright, we got a loose grate. I don't know if I need to go in here. I guess I do to kill Doedre, the cauldron. Alright, alright, I don't think I want to be in here with 12 frames. There we go. See, sometimes zooming in on it seems to fix the problem. Alright, so we've got a bunch of runoff here. This looks like a face. Is that a face? It is. There's eyes and a nose. Oh, this is gross looking. Ugh. Alright, let's hit this, I guess. And wow, she has flappy wings. She has flappy, gross. This chick is nasty, yo. Ooh. So, I don't know if I need to do something with that valve during the fight, or if that was just to summon her. Honestly, she's kind of easier than she is in Act 4 as it stands right now. Not really. I probably want to get away from these explosion bubbles, but I think I'm life-stealing or whatever, everything that she... Ooh, I want to get away from that. Nope. I think I'm life-stealing everything she does, so I can just sit here and spin to win. Yep, alright, that was just me spinning to win. I
believe in traveling light.
I literally just sat there and spun to win. Alright, Sin. Are you going to say the proper things this time, or are you going to start talking about all kinds of craziness?
Once more into the breach, and once more we return victorious. Although I have to admit, I did not relish the sensation of imbibing that foul witch's soul. I felt decidedly unclean. Still, our journey nears completion. To the north lies Highgate, and the cessation of our efforts to extract the dark ember from my dearly departed beast. And none too soon. Every hour, Katava's strength grows, and the longer he and the other gods dwell on this land, the less is humanity's chance of survival.
Wow, am I already done with Act 8?
Once more.
Oh, okay. Wow, he doesn't even let me talk to him anymore. He just repeats the same dialogue. All right, sewer outlet, waypoint, and I'm back in the Toxic Conduits. So everyone says I need to go back to town and talk to Maramoa, though, so I guess I'll figure out what to do from here. I'm guessing this whole Clarissa Tolman thing's gonna need to be addressed, and so much more. Alright, first let's talk to Maramoa.
These owl eyes of mine have been watching the sun goddess from afar. The sun orb lies within her temple, guarded by her most ardent devotee. An exile who, in his insanity, has taken to calling himself the Dawn. That orb is the seed that must be stolen from this new son of hers and planted at the feet of his ancient mother.
Okay, so we're getting back to the orbs.
I've been keeping a close eye on that exile-turned-sycophant who calls himself the Dusk. Dusk carried the moon orb into the Lunaris and has not returned with it. Not as far as I have seen. No doubt he clings to that orb like it's his adopted mother's own nurturing breast. If you were to wean him from the teat and place that orb at the bereft mother's feet, we may yet see the moon itself fall.
Alright, so I got some stuff to do with orbs. I can definitely handle that. So I guess Lunaris Temple is that way and the Sun Temple is that way. Easy enough, as long as I don't have to climb through a bunch of sewers doing it. Oh, who am I kidding? Of course I've got to run through a bunch of sewers.
You'd suppose someone as crafty as Doedre would have kept her ugly head under wraps as soon as she saw you coming. I guess death robs us of many things, including our common sense. In any case, thank you. The sewers can run clear now that there's no fetid witch clogging up the pipes. Here, have a little something to commemorate your fine clean-up job.
Like a pair of rubber gloves. Alright, fire and cold resistance. Gosh, I don't want to overthink this because I know it's going to be garbage anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let's do cold and lightning, I guess.
Tell me something. Any chance you might be willing to join forces and turn a healthy profit with old Hargan?
Again?
You ever heard of the Wings of Visteri? Not just another damned artifact. This one was the highest symbol of the Office of the Meraketh, held by the Sechima of Sechimas. History books will say the wings were last worn by Sechima Asenath, the Golden Sechima, the one who went and got herself murdered by Hector Tertusius. The only problem is that Tertusius himself is up and guarding his pretties once more. Still, if you can recover those Wings of Visteri, then I'm confident I can sell them back to the Meraketh for a fair sum. They're a cultural icon, after all, dripping with sentimental value. What do you say?
I say you didn't give me enough for those platinum busts before, buddy. But you seem to have a few things to talk about, and I have a little bit of time, so I'll hear you out.
If you're gonna be in the antiquities business, it pays to take note of whatever history you can. Highgardens and the great Emperor Azaro, for instance. Have you heard of the Lord's Labyrinth? The Highgardens were designed by Azaro as a test run for his great work. He turned his personal garden into a maze and filled it with all sorts of traps and nasty beasties. Convicted criminals were then given a choice, death or the garden. If they got through, an imperial pardon was theirs. Weren't no pardons on record as far as I can see. That's what happens when people have too much time and gold on their hands.
Okay, I think we kind of got that information from, like, just going through the labyrinth, but still pretty cool way of dealing with criminals. Like you said, you got enough money and time. Alright, Hector Tertusius.
What little humanity General Tertusius was born with, he traded in for strength. Went as far as to have Malachi replace his joints with virtue gems.
Oh my.
Mad bastard. Afterwards, Emperor Chittus charged Tertusius with subduing the Meraketh. A job he took a little too much pleasure in, if you ask me.
Well, alright, so final person I'm going to talk to is... Oh yeah, I didn't notice this on the mini-map. It even says Clarissa and then Tolman right there. Wonder if I'll be able to interact with Tolman at any point.
Exile, you've helped me before. You can help me again, can't you? My hope waits for me to the east, tucked away in a shrine in the Key. The Ankh of Eternity. Viruso, Prima Imperialis, placed it there himself at the dawn of the Empire. If the legends are correct, the Ankh has powers over life and death. When paired with the correct Asmerian ritual, I've learned the ritual. All I need is the Ankh of Eternity, and I know I can bring Tolman back. Properly, this time. Will you retrieve the artifact for us? I've tried, but the creatures around the shrine... simply too dangerous. Yes, Tolman, I'm getting to that. I've already prepared a site for the ritual out in the quay. Please, meet us there with the Ankh so that I may yet breathe life into my dearest love.
Oh, jeez. We know that's not gonna work out. None of this stuff ever works out that way, but I'm really excited to see. The quest is even called Love is Dead, my gosh. I'm really excited to do this one, so I definitely think I might be doing that one first next time. Thank you guys so much for watching me play Path of Exile today. I finished up Act 7, started Act 8, had some frame issue problems, had some dialogue problems, had all kind of problems. But I'm making my way toward the end of it all here, so... next time I'll start really getting into Act 8, maybe a little bit further than I got today, hopefully, now that all the dialogue and, you know, not only was the dialogue saying the wrong things, but we kind of found out all about Clarissa's, like, Ankh before she gave us the quest, so, I mean, you could kind of infer what she wanted, but kind of my bad on that part. I should have probably waited to get that dialogue, but whatever. Hopefully it'll all be fixed soon or someday or something. I don't know. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching me play Path of Exile. I really do appreciate you guys, and I'll see you with more Act 8 next time. Bye for now.